Hey everybody, welcome back. We're continuing on with our R2 build for this month. Pack 24, we had issues 91 through 94. You just seen issue 91. It was a pretty big build. Got a lot of parts and pieces and making R2 really look like a droid. But with this issue, it's a special issue, issue 92. And it's all about the batteries. That's why I want to do a separate issue on this one. That way you could revert back to it if you needed information on what to get for the batteries and how to deal with them once you do get them before installing them into R2. So let's go through the magazine real quick. A lot more articles this issue because last issue it was just all filled with building, because that was a pretty big issue, issue 91. We're back at it with the Astromech Part 13, more information and info on R2-D2, and then more about modern day robot technology. Okay, so this is what we get this month. We get the battery box. We get the cover for the battery box. We get a battery tester charger, tester/charger. Okay, looks just like this. And we have the cable to charge the batteries. All right. So I'm gonna have the book here and kind of revert to the actual info from Fanhome on how to properly go about purchasing your batteries. Okay, so R2-D2 is designed to use rechargeable 18650 lithium-ion batteries. Okay, that you install in the battery box. You're going to need 6 of these. Okay, at minimum. Okay, because the battery box has 6 slots. Okay. Alrighty. I went and bought 2 sets of batteries, so I have 6 here. So I have 6, and I have another 6. Excuse me a second. And the reason being is like, when these die down, instead of plugging in R2 and waiting for him to recharge, I'll just swap them out with this set. Okay. So I labeled, so that being the case, once I test and charge all these, I'm going to label this set number 1, and then the second set number 2, so you don't mix and match any of your batteries. Okay. So now you could purchase these batteries from reputable companies like LG, Panasonic, Samsung, and then there's a bunch of brands out there, lesser known brands, but they are still good companies. Like, for example, I got Ultrafire. Okay, and then and these are widely available online, because these type of batteries are used in e-cigarettes, flashlights, digital devices, and even some e-cars, like the Tesla uses them. Okay. It is essential you note that the specification of the 18650 batteries varies, so the ones you buy must match the points in this panel below. Some of the batteries have one end of the terminal raise, just like this. It's got a button. That's what they call it, a button top. But others have two flat sides like this. So make sure you get the negative is going to be flat, and then the positive, the button top. The reason you need it is so it makes contact inside the battery box. If it's too flat, then it's not going to contact up here. Okay, it's pretty common to find batteries that include internal protection circuitry. Do not buy the type described as protected, because R2-D2 has its own protection circuit. When you look at the battery box, it's pretty hefty battery box here. You can see a terminal board right inside here, and then look at all this cables. It's like that looks like, you know, a 12 gauge right there. It's pretty hefty, and that's probably the circuit protection inside here, or it may very well be some of the other circuit boards inside of R2. Moving on, make sure you buy batteries with a nominal voltage of 3.7. It's rare to find ones that don't match this, but note their capacity in milliamp hours. The milliamp hours can vary, typically from 1250 to 3600 or even more. That's right here. Let's say mine are 3000 milliamp hours. The higher you get, the longer it's going to take for you to charge them. At the very least, you need 2000 at the very least, but then on that side, then they might run down really quick. You might not be able to use your R2-D2 very long. So Fanhome recommends between 2600 to 2800. That's ideal for this R2-D2. And that's why I bought two sets with the 3000. That way I could take these out, charge them later, and then put fresh batteries in. So I don't have to worry about the charge time. So the higher the capacity, then the longer R2 standby operating time is, but the batteries will take longer to fully charge. You may find batteries described as high drain, high discharge. That they use for power tools or vaping devices. These are fine, but just as long as they're the right voltage. R2-D2's battery box has protection circuitry that will ensure that the cells are only drained at the correct rate. So let's reiterate the checklist. You need 18650 lithium ion batteries. It's got to be a 3.7 volt nominal, button top, no protection, no circuitry protection, and they said minimum of 2000, but you really need a minimum of 2600 milliamp hours. Make sure that this 3.7 volt appears on the battery itself, and so you know you're getting the right thing. And the maximum charging is 4.2. And then as you use or when it drains, it should drop to a minimum of 3.0 volts. Okay, be sure to buy 6 identical batteries all at the same time from the same batch. Read the manufacturer's safety instructions carefully before using them. So let me say that again. It's very, very important you buy all 6 batteries at the same time as a batch from one manufacturer with the same specification This will ensure that they are all in the same starting condition. It is a characteristic of lithium-ion batteries that the one with the worst condition will determine the performance of the whole pack. If one of the 6 batteries is bad, with a very low power level or coming to the end of its recharge cycle, it has the potential to damage other good cells or even damage your R2. To prevent this, they included a single cell tester charger that you plug into any USB USB port, and they give you a charging cable. It's a little bit short, but that's okay. This both charges and gives a readout of the initial condition of your batteries. Using it to set up each of the 6 batteries before they are put into the battery box will ensure that they are in optimum condition and maximize the performance of the whole battery pack. If you are unlucky enough to find any cells that do not match, do not use them in R2-D2, and be sure to dispose of them safely and properly. Okay, once we do the testing and charging process, the battery pack can be recharged as a whole using R2-D2's external charging socket. There is no need for any further maintenance, but keep this charger tester on hand in case you replace a battery in the future, and so you have to repeat the process. So make sure you got button top, 2600 milliamp hours, 18650 lithium ion, 3.7 volts. Beware of looking for batteries that are on auction sites or and that are very cheap. You know, be wary of what you are buying. If it says used, job lot, pre-owned, etc., you'll probably get a bad battery from the beginning, and this is why. Let's move on. Okay. Make sure you test the charger's not plugged in. Okay. So operate as a voltage reader. You want it as a reader, not a charger yet. So unplug, that's the reader. Fit the battery into the tester. So here I have a fresh battery. Put the number 1. Make sure it's with this, because it's with these 6 batteries. Put in the tester, and then you're gonna read what it says. 3.6. All right. So this is the readout, and a new cell, if you bought them new, brand new, it's gonna read 3.3 or higher. So what I did already, I pre-did this already before the video, is I took all 12 batteries and plugged them in and got a readout and pulled it out, put the next one, pulled it out, put the next one, to make sure that they were all 3.3 or higher. If you buy a battery and it says, if it's less than 3.3, or if it says LO, low, then it's a bad battery. Go get your money back for that. Okay, then next you take the tester, you plug it in, and now it becomes the charger. Okay. So here we go. You know it's charging because the last digit will start to blink. This will tell you. And it'll go up to around 4.2. Then once it's fully optimally charged, it'll say FUL on the cover, on the readout. And after that, once it gets to full, you unplug it and you charge the next one, plug it back in. Don't take these out or put them in while it's still plugged in. and then it should only take 20-30 minutes to charge each battery. And if you don't notice any increase in voltage, then that's a bad battery and discard it. And then last but not least, do not charge the batteries. Attempt to fit them into the battery box or install them in R2-D2 until instructed, when all the internal wiring is connected up. So take this battery box, inspect it, pull it out of the bag. You can inspect it. Go, ooh, it's got the, you can see the circuit board down here. That's the circuit protection. And then take it and put it away. Just put it to the side. You're gonna install that issue 97, and then you're gonna install the batteries issue 100. Okay, so that's it for preparing the batteries and looking at what to buy for your R2-D2. Okay, let's go move on to issue 93.